Grab a pen and pad, people. It's time for some menstruation education about period sex. In fact, research conducted by Bodyform revealed that almost half of adults said they'd never have sex at that time of the month. Now, 31% of women who didn't fancy it said they just weren't in the mood then. Your body, your muff, fair enough. But others were put off by misconceptions, myths and stigma. And that's what I'm here to bust. Can I swap this? Refreshing. Periods don't have to stop you having a bleeding good time in bed if you want to. And period sex doesn't have to be a big period drama or a bloody horror show. Just like your uterine lining, let's break it down.
How can I stress less about mess?
Around half of the women and men who avoid period sex say that it's worries about mess and cleanliness that give them the heebie-jeebies. You can get string-free sponge tampons and flat, disc-shaped menstrual cups specifically designed to be worn during intercourse, where they catch blood and stop your bedding looking like the Red Wedding. If that's too much faff for your foof, you don't have to throw in the towel. You can lay a dark-coloured one on the bed instead, then just chuck it in the wash afterwards. Condoms help keep things cleaner too. Or you could get busy in the shower, then just rinse any stains straight down the drain. The first few days of your period tend to be messier as your flow is heavier, so it might be easier to keep things neater towards the tail end when your flow is lighter. Or explore types of play that don't involve penetration. Sex doesn't always have to mean putting a pole in a hole, you know. But remember, there's nothing toxic, dirty or shameful about period blood. It might look a little different to the blood you see when you cut yourself, as it also contains cells shed from the lining of the womb as it renews itself each month, along with some standard cervical mucus and vaginal secretions. You might see clots in it too, especially first thing in the morning when the blood has had time to pool in your vagina while you sleep. All of this is 100% normal. There's nothing inherently unclean, weird or gross about it. It's not a period or a period, just a period. Some couples find period sex to be a deeply bonding, intimate experience because it involves being honest and accepting about how bodies work. And if your partner's really freaked out by the sight of a few splashes of liquid while parting the Red Sea, you could always blindfold them.
Can period sex reduce period pain?
During orgasm and sensual pleasure, feel-good chemicals are released, including oxytocin, dopamine and endorphins, the body's natural painkillers. For the 20% of nervous guys who worry that period sex might hurt their partner, now you know. Plus, the way your pelvic muscles contract and release during climax can help force prostaglandins, the chemicals that cause cramps, out of the vagina along with period blood, which can even help make sharp weeks shorter. Lights, camera, contractions.
Is it normal to feel turned on while you're on?
39% say there are actually days when they feel more aroused than usual. Hormonal changes during menstruation give some people the horn. And increased blood flow to the pubic area means that everything down there feels more pumped up, plumped up, sensitive and intense.
Can you get pregnant on your period?
It's less likely, but totally possible. Sperm can live inside the body for up to 7 days. So if you have unprotected period sex and then ovulate a little early, those testicular tadpoles can still be hanging around when an egg is released and boom, potential pregnancy. There's a slightly higher risk of STI transmission during period sex too, because of the blood and because the cervix is a little more open to let that blood pass through. So wrap before you tap. Period sex should always be a personal choice, but it shouldn't be something that we feel ashamed to talk about. At present, a fifth of adults think it's a taboo subject, and 48% of 18 to 24s, more than any other age group, say they'd never do it because they're embarrassed. But I don't think we should let a bit of very normal red hold us back in bed. And you know what they say, the flow must go on. Get informed with Bodyform.